first started thinking about what to call my blog, I really went through an in-depth process of thinking about what was related to creatures and what would kind of get across what I was trying to accomplish with my blog. So I jumped into Creatures 1 because originally my blog was going to just talk about Creatures 1. Since then, I've expanded into the other games. But I thought to myself, well, I'm in the world of Albia, and I kind of really liked that name. It was a very unique sort of element that corresponded with creatures, but really wasn't used by a lot of other websites or blogs. So I got a little bit of a unique element there. And then came the hard part of really figuring out how to incorporate that into a world name. So I just started going around in Creatures 1 and saying, what can I call this? And I realized that there were elements in the background that I hadn't noticed before. There's a little castle thing up here. If I go back over towards the settlement, maybe looks like there's a little guy in the ocean with a trident. And there were just a lot of different things around Albia that I said, wow, I'm finding these things years later since I last played this. And it just all seemed interesting to me. So I said, well, Albion Discoveries. And it was close, but it just didn't really have a ring to it. It didn't really stick with me. I said, it sounds okay, but I don't know if it's really memorable. So then it evolved into Discover Albia, which is the name of my blog now. And that kind of plays into the whole idea of how I was making these discoveries and discovering different things in creatures, such as all of the genetics and chemistry and even the chaos scripting language. But it also kind of plays into my whole idea of sort of inspiring other players, either new or old, to get into creatures and really get interested in it, in the games. So saying Discover Albia sort of played into that whole idea of kind of encouraging players to get out there and make their own discoveries, play in their own ways, make sort of new breeds or new agents, new cobs, or just play the game in maybe different ways or the same ways and just find new things to enjoy about it. So that was pretty much the whole thought process behind where Discover Albia came from. And I think it's worked so far. I know it doesn't tie in exactly with Creatures 3 and Docking Station, since those don't take place on Albia, but can't have everything. And I hope that kind of provides a good way of maybe the thought process behind coming up with a blog name, and maybe others out there will also think of creating their own blogs.